Hello everyone. Just thought I'd introduce you to our Year 5 chicks. Have you seen there's only 5 of them in there? That's because my son Tom is currently cuddling 2 of them. These guys were hatched about a week ago now. They came as little eggs. And now they've hatched and they're little chicks. We've only got a couple more days left with them. Then they're going back on Friday. But they're very sweet, aren't they? Have you got chicks in your garden at all? I wonder if you've got any baby birds in nests at all. These ones are chickens, so you wouldn't find them in your garden. But you might find some blue tits or some little robins, little nests in your garden somewhere. Shall I show you the nest that we've got in our garden? Hold on a minute. Right, now I've got to be very, very quiet and very, very calm. And you can see up here we've got our bird box up there. And that has got blue tits in it. So if I just pop up here quickly and quietly, I'll see if I can just open the lid quickly and we can have a quick look. But we've got to be very gentle and very quiet. She wasn't happy, was she? So we're not going to disturb her again. Wasn't that sweet? Sweet little blue tits. I've been looking around for a story as well to tell you. And I've just found one. I've found one, but it's not a chicken. And it's not about a blue tit. It's about a duck that hatches. I hope you enjoy it. It's called Wow. It's great being a duck. By Joan Rankin. Lily was the last born, the last to hatch, and the smallest and the skinniest. All the other ducklings had already left the nest when at last Lily's egg began to crack, and Lily peeked out. She saw her mother's eye, she saw her mother's feathers, and her mother's feet. Crash! Lily fell out of her egg into the big world. Lily's mother was very proud of her. She wanted everyone to admire little Lily. Come swim, quacked the older brothers and sisters. Come on, Lily, coaxed Mother Duck. You must learn to swim, or furry legs, long tail, sharp snout, pink tongue, fox will gobble you up. But Lily didn't want to take her feet off the ground. So while her brothers and sisters were swimming and diving, Lily practised walking. Plomp, plomp, one foot in front of the other. Into the dark green forest she walked. Along the winding path she went until she met Mr. Furrylegs. What's a nice duck like you doing in the dark green forest? Asked Mr. Furrylegs. I'm walking, replied Lily proudly. You are very small and skinny, remarked Mr. Furrylegs. I will show you where to eat tender nasturtium leaves. You need fattening up. Lily ate so many nasturtium leaves she could hardly waddle home. A week later she met Mr. Furrylegs Longtail. My, you do walk well for a duck, said Mr. Furrylegs Longtail. Thank you, said Lily. I shall never take my feet off the ground. It's far too dangerous. I love walking too, said Mr. Furry Legs Longtail. Let's stroll together into the forest. I'll show you some tasty things for a growing duck like you to eat. Lily ate many wild berries. She ate until her beak turned purple. She ate until her feathers turned purple. How do you feel? Asked her new friend. Fat, replied Lily. Oh, good, said Mr. Furry Legs Longtail. I like fat ducks. Why do you think he likes fat ducks? The following week, Lily returned to the berry patch, and there she met Mr. Furry Legs Longtail's sharp snout. While she looked for any remaining berries, they spoke. Do you have a large family? Asked her companion. Oh, yes, said Lily. I have lots of big brothers and sisters. Really? Then I must show you where to find snails. I think they make for good fat ducks. Big, strong, and fat. The snails were so tasty, so absolutely scrumptious, that Lily stayed until she'd eaten every one. Do bring your brothers and sisters next time, called Mr. Furry Legs Longtail Sharpsnout. OK, said Lily, but they can't walk as quickly as I can. And she waddled off, her tail dragging on the ground. The next week, Mr. Furry Legs Longtail Sharpsnout Pink Tongue came walking along the forest path. There he found Lily sitting alone on the path, sobbing. Why are you crying all by yourself? He asked. My family have flown away to a bigger pond, she wailed. Oh dear, I was hoping to have a party with all of you, but why don't you just come along with me? Lily stopped crying. You are very kind, she sniffed, and she got up to follow her new friend into the dark green forest. Hurry, hurry, you must walk faster, said Mr. Furry Legs Longtail Sharpsnout Pink Tongue, licking his lips. How rude, thought Lily, resting for a while. Come on, he snarled at her. Who does he think he is? Quacked Lily, looking up. She glared at his furry legs. She studied his long tail. She observed his sharp snout. She ogled his pink tongue, slipped across a row of needle-sharp teeth. Lily squeaked and Lily squawked when she saw Mr. Furry Legs Longtail Sharp Snout Pink Tongue Fox. Quickly, Lily turned and ran. She went flap, flap, flop, flop, flap, flap, flop, flop, faster and faster along the winding path, through the dark green forest and back to the pond. Splash! Into the pond. Paddle, paddle, faster, faster. Lily could hear the panting breath of Mr. Fox. She could feel his prickly whiskers on her tail. Paddle, paddle, went her feet. Flap, flap, went her wings. And suddenly, Lily was flying. Up, up over the pond, up, up over the trees, right out of the reach of Mr. Fox. Up, up over the hills and onto the other side. Below a big pond, she saw her family. Down she glided and landed just like an expert. Look, look, quacked her other brothers and sisters. Hey, Lily, we thought you could only walk. So did I, said Lily, but now I can do everything. And she could. Wow, it's great being a duck. See that bit as well? Gee, it's a little bit of duck being a small snail. Got eaten, didn't they? Well, I hope you enjoyed that. And I hope you have a lovely week this week. Enjoy yourselves. Keep a lookout for all those birds flying around, any nests that you see too. And I hope you have a fabulous week. Take care. Bye.